And we're back on the SportsMax Zone. The Jamaica Premier League hosted a meet and greet press conference on Thursday. The press conference is a drive to get the sponsors and clubs to form a closer bond. Humber Lion and their sponsor, Red Stripe, outlined their delight and their expectations for the partnership.
While the team has been working to improve their performances, we see the heart, the drive, and the vision that have taken this club this far. I mean, Humber Lion is a Clarendon institution, and it's a tradition that's been 40 years in the making. We recognize the challenges that you face, Humber Lion. We applaud the management team for its leadership throughout these difficult times. As club sponsor, we see ourselves playing a supportive role in the development of the Humber Lion franchise, and that's why we've already begun to take steps to help them get some of the resources they will need in a couple of key areas. And while we recognize that we have made a key and significant investment through sponsorship of the club, there's going to be a need for greater resources in order to properly fund long-term development plans. As such, Red Stripe has been working with Humber Lion to provide some support for the club's fundraising efforts, and especially those that began over the recent Emancipendence period. Where the players are concerned, we understand that Coach Price has been trying to increase the fitness levels. I understand that's probably not the most fun part of training, but we also recognize that in order to have improved fitness levels, you're going to need improved nutritional support. And to that end, we will be working with the team to provide an expert who can give some guidance on nutritional information and support, which is a key driver of performance and a critical part of your overall preparation. In total, we'll be providing support valued at $500,000 to the Humber Lion Football Club, and that's both product and technical support, which we believe will make an impact where you need it most.
Humber Lion is indeed happy to be associated with Red Stripe. As you know, Red Stripe has been a long proponent of the game of football in Jamaica. They have sponsored the All-Island Knockout. They have sponsored the Premier League. They have sponsored so many competitions over a long period of time. So this is nothing unusual to them. But what is very important to us at Humber Lion is the fact that they chose us. And we were happy and delighted when we found out that Red Stripe, the coolest beer company in the world, would be supporting Humber Lion this season and in the near future. We are honored to be associated with you. We know you are an impactful corporate entity that has assisted Jamaicans large and wide across the island. Football is very important, and for the last 15 months where there was no football in Jamaica, there was an upswing in violence in Clarendon in particular. So it's very important that football has restarted. It has given the young men an opportunity to play the sport that they love, and this could not have been done without the sponsorship and the PFGL having a partnership with all the sponsors that are currently in the Premier League. But we are more happy that Red Stripe is associated with us.
Of course, Lance, we know that in sports particularly, the importance of sponsors, and we can't help but forget, we have to mention that we're in the middle of a pandemic, and of course sponsorship is even more so important. So Red Stripe, of course, the sponsors for Humber Lion. Talk to us, about how important that has been.
Well, certainly we appreciate the new business model that the Professional Football of Jamaica Limited has been able to bring to this current 2021 season with, teams being attached to individual sponsors and so on. And it's great to have that financial structure in the football at the moment. Throughout the rest of the Caribbean, problems at the moment with football. We heard the St. Lucia Football Association President Lyndon Cooper saying only this week that they need to get a semi-pro league in St. Lucia. At the moment, 3 of St. Lucia's best young players are in the Premier League in Jamaica. Alvinus Mars, there's Melvin Doxley and Javik McFarlane. 2 of them are with Portmore. there is no football of consequence being played in St. Lucia at the moment. So I think, and there are Guyanese playing in the Jamaica Premier League as well. So that highlights the fact that what is happening with the Jamaica Premier League at the moment is very, very attractive, and good to see Red Stripe linking up with Humberland at the moment, as we see other prominent by private sector enterprises linking up with the other 10 teams.
Definitely, and the sponsors need to be recognized, because it could have been so easy for them to just pull out and say, well, we're in the middle of a pandemic, business is not doing so good, but they recognize the importance of sports and the importance of, even Coach was talking about, certain communities that need assistance to ensure that, players don't go down the wrong road, and I feel like these sponsors definitely need recognition for that.
Yeah, they do.
Well, Humberline FC coach Andrew Price says his team is aiming for the 3 points at Sunday's game against Harbourview FC. The struggling Clarendon-based team are all but out of the playoffs, but Price still positive.
That's the idea, There's a mathematical chance that we could sneak in, but we want to make it hard for the rest of the teams. There'll be no easy games for the rest of the season, and, we're going to treat the rest of the games as a must-win game and see if we can ride our luck and see if we can get 3 points on Sunday.
Well, I think that should be the spirit, Lance. Humberline, they're 11th on the table. They have accumulated only 3 points. They're playing Harbourview, the 5th place team. And of course, it would be, it would boost their confidence to beat them. But how can they beat them? Maybe you can tell us.
Well, first of all, they have to stop leaking goals. They have conceded 13 goals already in the season, Humberland, and they are the only team in the league at the moment that had conceded double figures in goals. Every other team has conceded less than 10 goals. They've conceded 13, and they lost 5 consecutive matches at the start of the season. Did rebound with a victory, but then they lost their next game. So I think Andrew Price, who was a solid central defender in his time, needs to fix their defensive woes, because that is where he has to start. And it's good that he remains positive, because there's still a lot of football left to be played. So although mathematically they're in the doldrums at the moment, it's not beyond them, if they completely turn their form around, to get back into the top 6 shake-up.
And Lance, they brought in Javon Watson. Does that help them in any way?
Well, it can. Javon is 37 years old now, but he's a very experienced player. He played MLS football in the USA for about 6 or 7 years and played in the USL the past 2 or 3 years. He's back home now to help a Clarendon team. He is from Clarendon. He went to Garvin Maceo High School, and he is a player that has a lot of experience and a lot to offer to the Humberland team, in their midfield. So even at 37 years old, I think Javon Watson could be a key player for them and try to help them dig themselves out of the hole that they've found themselves in.
All right, well, we're going to take a look now at the results from match day number 7. And we have the fixtures. Let's take a look at the fixtures that's coming up this weekend. What do we have? So on Saturday, Lance, will you be working? We have Malines United up against Cavalier FC. Mount Pleasant will face Waterhouse. Then on Sunday, August 15, Humberline against Harbourview FC. Arnott Gardens, they will be seeing Portmore United. Then on Monday, the football continues here in Jamaica with Tivoli Gardens up against Don Beholden FC. Lance?
Yeah, I think I have the Saturday doubleheader, Malines against Cavalier and Mount Pleasant, who are currently 3rd in the table, up against Waterhouse. That is expected to be a very intriguing fixture, because Mount Pleasant and Waterhouse, in the short lifespan that the Mount Pleasant team has had in the Premier League, they have had a couple of bruising battles with Waterhouse. So we'll see how that one turns out.
All right, so we take a quick break and we come back.